thing, coming into the game that we felt like was probably the most important aspect of how we handled ourselves on the floor was being able to limit our turnovers. And we didn't do as good of a job as we needed to in the first half. When we did take care of the ball, we got great shots. We shot such a high percentage from the field. And, it's one thing to talk about it and prepare in a 24-hour period of time. Your guys have been through the wars. It's hard to really go full speed in a practice the day before you play such a meaningful game. It took our guys, I think, a half to realize how much of a gambling attitude and type of style of play that Georgia State employs. In the second half, we go 4 turnovers, and we continue to shoot a really high percentage from the field. I thought, all these guys up here had terrific nights. Dee's been playing as well as any point guard I've coached for the last month and a half of the season. He makes us go. Miles, who hasn't shot it well down the stretch, I thought his 2 buckets the other day were huge for his confidence. He didn't miss a shot and shoot around the day and was lights out today. Jalen was a man inside, did a great job of being able to finish. And I don't know how many centers that you can have around college basketball that you can feel equally comfortable with him on the perimeter as in the post. Matt calms us down and does a great job of being able to recognize what kind of pressure they're putting, what kind of zone they're putting on our team, and finding the right guys. I'm tremendously proud of this group. The older guys have been through a lot, and they've continued to maintain our culture and believe in one another, and really excited to be moving on.
We'll start with some questions for the student athletes first. We'll go here and then here, and then we'll get to the coach in a moment.
I guess I'll address this to Miles. You guys missed 3 shots in the second half, and I reckon my question is, are you kidding me? What 88% missed 3 shots? What's going through? What kind of offense do you have to be running out there, and what kind of mindset do you guys have to be doing to pull that off?
I didn't even know we only missed 3 shots in the second half. That's crazy. But I think the best part about this team is that we are a very unselfish group of guys. You can get a different score every night, and the best part about it is we're going to give each other confidence and tell each other to keep shooting as much as possible. We just stuck with it, and I'm so proud of this group of guys, and I just love being on this team right now.
Yes, ma'am.
Shannon Russell, Cincinnati Enquirer. Dee, you've been through so much during your time at Xavier, and to get back to the Sweet 16 now for the first time since your freshman year, what does that feel like for you?
It's a great feeling. Like you said, I've been through a lot. My freshman year made it to the Sweet 16, with 2 Holloways. The initial point guard played a lot of minutes. So, I was more so watching him, and I just did my part. And being able to do it, my senior year, having a major role on the team, it feels great.
I have a follow-up. Their coach said that the biggest thing they try to do is confuse opponents and make a disconnect between the point guard and his coach, but you were immune to that today. How are you able to weather that storm?
You mean point guard and my coach, or?
Yes.
Oh, no. We always stay connected. We got to know what each other's thinking. That's my job as a point guard. My job as a point guard is to, be a coach on the floor. So, I didn't feel any disconnect at all.
Back in the right side.
Yes, my question is for Matt and Jalen. I noticed in the post that you guys seem to have a lot of chemistry down there, working with the bigs and, you getting the rebounds, Matt and Jalen, putting it in the basket. How did you guys develop such a chemistry? Was it the countless hours of practice or, just playing together for so long? How did you guys pretty much seem like you kind of took control of the post, seemingly so.
I would say Coach Pegues, just the way he prepares, just taking our time down there, just trying to get the shot we want, and just trying to finish through contact.
Yeah, a lot of it's patience and trust, and I know Jalen's a really good player, and I think he equally thinks the same about me. Where we don't care who's scoring, we just want someone scoring, and I always have trust in him when I give him the ball and cut to the hoop and dive that he's going to finish the play, he's going to score the bucket, take care of the ball. So, I think a lot of it's patience, trust, and we've, practiced a lot together and have good chemistry.
We'll open it up for the coach as well now, too. So, coach or players, yes.
I had a question for Jalen. You mentioned after the Ole Miss game that you kind of wanted to put that game behind you. It wasn't your best game. So to come out and have one of your best, what was working well for you? And can you also talk about your reaction there at the end when you fell to the floor in ecstasy, I guess?
First and foremost, I just want to thank God because without him, we obviously wouldn't be doing what we're doing right now. But I just knew how bad I wanted to win this game, how bad my teammates wanted to win this game. So I just knew I had to step my game up, and it turned out well.
Yes, sir. Here in the aisle.
Chris, Mack Gordon from the Staten Island Advance. I just looked at some numbers, and I believe that heading into this tournament, 8 of the last 9 games you played against opponents in the Big East, including the tournament, who at one time had been ranked 25th in the top 25 in the nation. In order to finish games like this, what kind of benefit is that to be able to play in a league like that all year long and get that kind of experience?
Well, it certainly helps because you're put in a ton of those situations down the stretch. You know, virtually every game that we play and have played has been a close game. And even if the margin says 10 or 12, that simply isn't the case. You know, you're talking about a 2-3 possession game with a couple minutes left and free throws maybe ice it, being able to get the basketball into the guys, the right people at the right time. And again, we played some tremendous teams. I think we've been put in a lot of situations. When you have seniors, and again, I keep saying it, but Dee's seen a million different zone defenses, presses, end of the game situations, Matt as well. They calm your team down. They settle your team down. And I thought down the stretch, we did a great job against the pressing and trapping and steal the ball type team.
Left side of the aisle, and then we'll get here next.
Matt Patton, Rush the Court. Coach, I was just wondering, as good as y'all were on offense, Georgia State still was scoring the ball effectively. Are you worried about how you played defensively this game?
We didn't play our best. You know, Georgia State had something to do with that. You know, they got an NBA prospect that a couple of his shots, you know, were 26, 27, 28 feet. We tried to go back and forth a little bit between zone and man. They did a good job attacking it. Ryan Harrow changes the complexion of the game when he's on the floor because he's so quick. He's so explosive. I mean, they have 3 players. R.J. Hunter could have played anywhere in the country out of high school. Kevin Ware did, played at Louisville. And then, you know, Ryan Harrow, you know, NC State to Kentucky. I mean, those guys are legitimate, high major players. And there was a lot on the line. They wanted to win. I'm proud of our group. We're able to make the plays when we had to.
Right side of the aisle first. We'll go to the very back next, and then up here.
Dan Wolken, USA Today. Chris, your thoughts on playing Sean in the Sweet 16? And then also just curious, when you talk about maintaining the culture, how tough is it to maintain the culture while also, during the transition, making sure the program is yours and not his?
You know, it wasn't necessarily tough to maintain the first couple of years, but we hit some speed bumps. You know, some self-inflicted, others not. We had a couple ineligibility rulings that I thought were unfair at the time and still have issue with, but it's in the past. But you know, we were down to 8 scholarship players and we're playing walk-ons in Dee's sophomore year. And it was very, very difficult. But these guys continue to come to practice every day, believe in one another, believe in our message. And we've got more players on scholarship that have gotten better under the leadership that these guys have provided. As far as playing Sean, it's really tough. I don't think it's tough for anybody up on the stage because they don't really know Sean. You know, they didn't recruit him. I've recruited all these guys that play for me. But Sean gave me a heck of an opportunity to come back to my alma mater. He put a lot of responsibility and trust in me. You know, he ultimately, you know, really pushed for me to become the head coach. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. And so it's really hard to play against one of your best friends in the business. But it really won't matter to our guys, nor will it matter to Arizona, because they don't know me from a bucket of paint.
Back in the middle, please, and we'll get up here in the front.
Andrea Adelson, ESPN.com. Chris, I don't know if one of those eligibility issues has anything to do with Jalen, if that was one of the guys you were referring to, but what does it mean to see him have a game like he had tonight, considering what he's had to overcome in his career there?
Yeah, I'm really proud of Jalen on a couple levels. You know, number one, and I think Dee and Matt can attest to it, when Jalen was first starting with us as a freshman, he had a real tough time remembering defensive principles and where to be on offense and the growth that Jalen Reynolds has had in that sense. You know, they always talk about how the game slows down for guys as they get older. It's really slowed down for him. And, you know, he knows when he makes a mistake now defensively. He has gotten so much better. And, you know, that's on a larger scale. If I flip it and talk about a smaller scale, Jalen played terrible against Ole Miss. And he put his head down, and he was really disappointed in his play. And we talked a lot between games about just having a next play mentality. And for him to turn around and have his best game after the performance he had against Ole Miss says a lot about his resiliency and
right now, you know, make it to the Sweet 16. For my second time, I'm going to make sure that they're ready. And I'm pretty sure Matt's going to do the same thing. So I'm not too worried about us getting rest.
Final question in the back, in the middle.
Jalen, kind of similar to what I asked Coach, but you had to go through a lot of adversity in your career to get to this point. How were you able to stay focused and remain on track and kind of keep your head looking forward?
Well, just a system that they prepare for us. It's just an everyday thing. Just obviously putting it behind me. Excuse me, and just moving forward. You just kind of can't let things affect you. Just keep moving forward and just focus on what's more important, and that's winning games and being the best I can be.
Congrats. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.